What's happening? It's your boy, I'm Carson. I'm back in the building. Welcome and welcome back. You see the title? You see the thumbnail? We're going to get straight into it. Let's get it.
Secret facilities that you know about.
Well, everyone talks about Area 51. That's an old one. A more state-of-the-art one is actually in the Dugway Proving Grounds, which is in Utah.
I'm going to put a picture up of it right now.
That's a big one in Dugway. It's underground. It's about 1,300 square miles. Not acres, miles.
1,300 square miles?
Yeah.
What's in there?
All this stuff. Technologies, the craft, operations. When he got to the site, there was about a 6x6 pod. There was some sort of one molded thing, and there were four, I'm going to use his language, little men that looked like the color of a Sicilian, 39 inches tall, no hair, and also no external ears, no antenna flaps, very fine feature. I debriefed over 1,000 men on this. He said, I can't figure out how they got in and out of their uniforms. So they had a one-piece uniform, now no zipper and no buttons, and no visible way they could get them out of this thing.
Holy shit, this situation just got a whole lot crazier. As you can see, former Chilean President Sebastián Pinera dies in a helicopter crash at 74 just yesterday. But before we go any further, I want everybody to be aware of the situation at hand and why we're talking about Chile. This just so happens to be what majority of southern Chile looks like at this very moment, as a series of deadly wildfires that killed over 112 people ravaged through the areas of southern Chile. Now stay with me, okay, because this is the primary reason of why we're speaking about Chile and the wildfires. As you can see, thousands of homes were destroyed in flames, which swept through the hilly settlements around the resort town of Viña del Mar starting Friday, propelled by high winds. A regional state of emergency was declared and a nighttime curfew imposed. Well, ironically, the same energy institutions that just so happen to be involved with rebuilding Maui in quotations, just so happen to have their 4th LA Conference on Sustainable Development of Energy, Water, and Environment Systems, just on the 14th to the 17th of January 2024, in where? Ironically, if you look into as to why they're interested in Viña del Mar, you might see here Viña del Mar is considered Chile's top city to live in, work in, and visit, and ranks second behind only Santiago for education. And then a whole bunch of other pros for the area as well. And that doesn't seem to be the only article that seems to be talking about things like that. Now, what's ironic is the company named Hitachi just so happened to have a website just a couple months ago that just so happened to be deleted that clearly stated that Maui was supposed to be the first integrated SMART island. So that's pretty interesting, and the reason why it's so damn interesting is because of this. Oh, wow. You mean the SMART City Business Chile headquarters are at where? Huh. And then if you just so happen to go to their summit website, you might find things like this. And has anybody gained notice as to how many lithium mines are being built in southern Chile? I'm not laying claim to anything officially being true, but I hope I can at least connect the puzzle pieces for you a little bit easier. In the last episode, I just so happened to speak about a certain satellite that just so happened to be above Maui the day of the wildfires. Now, once again, not laying claim to anything officially being true, but the satellite just so happens to be owned by a company named CERN. CERN, a couple years ago, just so happened to declare that they discovered the 5th force of nature, which just so happens to be something called cosmic energy. And the cosmic energy may or may not be collected via satellite. And when it is, it just so happens to be able to produce a specific beam, but you can't actually say that word openly here on TikTok. But it's ironic because I spoke about in the last video as well that there has officially been a Space Force unit created just last year, right? That is designated to defending the nation against adversary satellites that are capable of producing ground-based what? Yeah, once again, can't use that word. But gosh, that really makes you think, huh? Did you know Jeff Bezos just last year just so happened to build a SMART hub in the middle of the waters in Greece? And the main two areas that just so happen to communicate via data with the hub are Athens and Larissa. Wait, Athens and Larissa just had their worst fire seasons to date. Oh man, wait, what? It's not hard to research into these matters for yourself, people. I mean, come on. So many people rely on mainstream media and the news to paint this picture of truth for you.
I didn't know nothing about that, but it sounds like they laser beaming. I guess, I don't know if you didn't pick up on that, but I don't even know if I picked up on it because I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know what's going on. All I know is any, what do you call them? SMART cities or hubs. I'm straight on them. Shoot, I don't even got an Alexa. And I got Siri turned off, but she still pop on whenever she want. You feel me? So, yeah. All right.
Welcome back to What Would Happen If. This time, what would happen if the San Andreas Fault ruptured tomorrow? Aye, fuck. Now, this fault line runs down most of the Californian coast, and when referenced in TV or movies is referred to as the Big One. This is because certain parts of this fault line haven't ruptured in hundreds of years, and when it inevitably does rupture, is expected to cause a magnitude 8 earthquake. That'll be the biggest natural disaster in the last century, no biggie, no biggie at all! For starters, it will cause an unprecedented amount of damage. Any old buildings that aren't earthquake-proof, bye! And even modern buildings can be damaged enough to never be used again. Fires would break out across the state. Dams would be seriously damaged. You know, those things that hold back a fuck ton of water. Yeah, those. Also, this bad boy would be detected on the East Coast. Overall, 13 million people would be affected. But what wouldn't happen? Thought I'd give you some good news to soften the blow. I don't know. For starters, a ravine will not open up in the middle of California. Do remember that these faults are sliding past each other, not away from each other. Also this. There'll be plenty of things to up your day that day. A tsunami won't be one of them.
Here we have the San Andreas Fault. At 800 miles long, 10 miles deep, and 28 million years old, the San Andreas Fault connects tectonic plates. This fault has caused earthquakes with a magnitude greater than 8 on the Richter scale. That's really strong. The San Andreas Fault connects to a network of other faults, which is why it's so active. Scientists say that these gigantic cracks in the ground could be enough to destroy all of Los Angeles. It's been decades since this fault created an earthquake big enough to cause major damage. Who knows when the next will come?
Guys, if you don't know who this is David Eckhart. He is like a brother to me. He's a very good friend of mine. And look, I just wanted to say that we've been posting some of the images that he sent me, and people are like, well, you know, that's some kind of jug of water. Guys, you have no clue what's going on. You think you know how to do this stuff. You think you know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. We're not wasting our time with this stuff. We're not trying to do this just to get views or trying to get noticed or attention. We're doing this because this is a real current situation. David recently, a while back, gave an interview about one of his abduction encounters. Check this out.
I've seen areas where I was put into a clean room. If you know what a clean room is, has a drain in the middle of the floor where you can dissect somebody and you just hose everything down when you're done. It's called a clean room. And I knew that there was some reptilian doctors there on the other side of the door, but there was a platform evidently above the window I was working at, and there was humans up there, and there was, I don't know why they was pushing them off. It seemed like low gravity, and as they was falling, these things was coming out of the wall that looked like an electrical conduit, and it would jab them each side of the leg and the inner side and suck all the fluid out of them. And they would look like mummies as they was coming down, but they was coming down all the way to the floor, and they had the shorter reptilian guys down there, and they was throwing the bodies into these burners, and they had this thing on the ceiling that was like half moon shaped, silver, and it would go over to a pile of bodies and pick them up, vacuum them up, or whatever it was doing. I don't know how it was, probably vacuuming them up, and it would carry it over, back the bodies over closer to a burner. And they had these, the short reptilian guys just throwing the bodies and they're burning it up. And so that was kind of disturbing.
That's crazy.
Notice he was talking about the reptilian doctors. Well, he's had several visits from this guy. This is one of them. This is one of the images. And there's a reason he posts these images, guys. There's a reason. He's had experiences with them. They've stopped him from coming through these portals. They've created several stargates at one time, and he's watched these things pour into his house, go out the window, leave, come back, go back through the portals. Yeah, this stuff isn't made up. I know we posted here a few days ago, we posted an entity that looked like it was a puppet or whatever, and people laughed at it and thought it was a joke or whatever. It's not a joke. It's not. You can laugh if you want. I mean, you know, there's no way for us to just reach out and prove this to you and sort of, but there's a reason that they're investigating David. There's a reason they stay for weeks at the time at his house. And they try to keep it secret. He's had visits from government officials telling him to stop it, to stop talking about it. This is real stuff. Mm-hmm. This isn't made up. So you can leave your comments, and you know, if you're negative about it, you know it's okay, but you know, don't insult us for trying to get this information out, because you know there's some credibility behind this, or these people would not just continuously be trying to pick David's brain. David's a special person, and there's a reason that he sees what he sees. Leave your comments.
I ain't gonna lie. That picture looked it legit. For sure. I ain't gonna cap. Because it wasn't like something you were just doing. His story has so much detail to it. So I ain't gonna lie. I believe him that he might be experiencing, something like that for sure. Because you never know, man. You know what I'm saying? You think of a time, maybe he's seen it in his dreams. You never know. Maybe he really experienced this in real life. Like, we don't know what's out there. But I don't know. Hopefully the story unfold a little bit more type deal. Well, that's it for today's video. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to make some more. I'm Carson. I'm out the building, and I'll be back, man. Cheers.